Referee is James Child for this one. The video official is Tom Grant. About to get this one underway in the shape of Danny Richardson, and so much talk about the half-back pairing on both sides. Jake Truman and Danny Richardson, the former St Helens man, coming in. And on the other side, no Danny Brough, so Jacob Miller and Ryan Hampshire in the halves. That will be a key battle. Contest all over the pitch as Richardson gets this one underway. Darryl Powell in the build-up saying that the wind and the conditions are going to be really a factor in this one, and the kicking game is going to be absolutely crucial.
Well, I would imagine that the Tigers are a little disappointed at the fact that they've pushed a bit harder, gone faster from that kickoff. They could have got under and contested possession. As it is now, they have to defend.
It's Wakefield with this first possession. Oliver Holmes in attendance for the Tigers, his 200th Castleford appearance tonight. Miller wide to Ashurst. That's a good tackle around the legs from Peter Matautia. Johnston now. Wrestled to the ground by three, among them Richardson and Liam Watts. And the last one, Miller under pressure, gets the kick away. It's a high one, the first test in these conditions.
Or does he get away with that? He's under pressure, as you said, Ben. It's got to be a key part of this evening's battle, the kicking game. When it goes up high, oh, it's a good half-a-metre infield.
Well, it was George Griffin.
Not the direction I suspect he wanted. He wanted a bit of height. It went end over end, and he's trying to kick it to that side.
Yeah, George Griffin, the man who worked hard to put the pressure on the kicker. As it is, I suppose they turn it over in a relatively happy position here for the Wakefield side. 10 metres or so for their opponents. That's one of the goals to start a game.
Chris Chester, like his side, also looking to end a personal sequence of 13 setbacks against Castleford.
One, move!
Darrell Alfords then taking that carry. I suspect he was the target for that kick. Scored an exceptional try last week, and his work away from his own line and the speed he's got to convert those chances into points will be something Wakefield have spoken about.
Goal 3.
McShane gets that ball away to Watts. McShane outstanding so far this season. Here now is Chase Blair. Tries in his last two.
Goal 4.
Against Wigan and in Perpignan.
5.
Massey now.
Back up, collect me hold. Go.
That's the last one for Castleford. McShane gets the ball away for Richardson's kick. That goes high as well. Good test. Well taken by Max Jowett. Confidence boost for the 22-year-old fullback in these conditions. Miller waits.
Well, the Tigers at their best really do put a massive focus on the defence here. Look, they've compressed in the wingers, both sides of the field are well in from the sideline. Defenders closer to one another, trying to make life hard for these white shirts now to gain ground.
Move all the way, Liam. Hold, mate. Hold. Good. 4.
Westerman puts the ball off for Kopchak.
5. Move, Liam. Hold, Paul. Hold. Go.
Kyle Wood who waits.
Outside.
It's his kick. So he got the trajectory right. Well, it's straight down the throat of Jordan Rankin. And the Wakefield chase is a good one as well.
Move.
Jordan Rankin, the fullback, he dropped back deep enough to catch that ball on the full. Both sides willing to get into the arm wrestle, going set for set early doors.
Release, Cleffy. Go 2.
Space for Matautia. Big plus that he is back after that 2-match suspension.
Back up. Hold. Go 3.
Samoan international. And now McShane throws the dummy. Can't get through the tackle of Kyle Wood.
Paul Craig.
Westerman in there as well.
4.
That was Rankin. Now Liam Watts.
5. Move.
Cross the error here from Westerman, or Kopchak I should say, apologies. On the very last tackle, the referee had his hand in the air. We expected a kick from the Tigers. Wakefield waiting to restart possession. But as it is now, the first time in this game, we're going to see the Tigers in a really good situation to attack. Richardson kicks to touch, and they're just over 20 metres from their opponent's line.
Approaching 4 minutes gone, and a real test now of this Wakefield defence.
Move, Joe. Back up.
Big opportunity for Castleford. McShane waits. Look one way, came back the other, gave it to Truman, and now Oliver Holmes. Oliver Holmes wrestled to the ground in the nick of time. Truman again. Gets the ball away at the line. That was brilliant, and Richardson has it. All locked up there. Ashurst in there for Wakefield. Important tackle.
Go 3 on the calls.
McShane, short ball, chase Blair.
4.
Inching closer, the hosts. Big defensive effort still required from Wakefield. Here is Liam Watts. Gets the one-handed offload away to McShane. Over the top to Truman. And Truman's going to kick him. That's brilliantly taken. It's Ryan Hampshire. Not only did he quell the danger, but he did brilliantly to gather that ball in first time as well.
Fantastic reactions. Look at the counter-attack here now. Riesling skirting down the right-hand side of the field. Wakefield alert in defence. And completely on red alert here now as they try and counter-attack with Bill Tupou.
Good signs, aren't they, for Wakefield? Managed to hold their nerve. Couple of offloads, one of them from Liam Watts. Defended well and end up with the ball at the back end of it.
Go, play on.
Kopchak plays the ball. Kyle Wood further on for Tanganoa.
Move. All the way, Paul. Go, come on.
Wood once more. Miller on the last. With a testing kick and ranking in exactly the right place once more. Look at the chase.
Is that the ball stripped?
Stolen.
Arundel.
That's brilliant from Joe Arundel. The England Knights International has given Wakefield a great chance now. The pendulum swings in favour of the visitors, and it could be over here. Threat repelled the nick of time. Tanganoa, who went close. Milik gives it to Westerman, and the former Castleford man strikes first in the jungle. 6 minutes gone, and Castleford surrendered the possession, and it's the former Tiger, Joe Westerman, who puts Wakefield on the board. Began his career with the Tigers, over 500 points in over 100 appearances, and that will be really, really sweet. His second try of 2020.
Well, Wakefield have shown the basic ingredients to win a game, to be able to defend their own line at one part and then capitalise at the other. They get the first possession there because of Joe Arundel's quick thinking, and then this is a wonderful line that Joe Westerman runs in and away from his opposing defender. Change of direction, there's some deception with the pass. The man with the ball looks as though he's going to pass it behind him. Miller there's a question about just how flat and level that ball is, but it's irrelevant now to Chris Chester because they're 4 points up.
Surely 6 in a minute as Ryan Hampshire steps up. The other former Castleford man adds 2 more points. Arundel first up to get the possession back, and then Westerman.
There's more than a question mark for me on that pass. It's a lovely line, very similar to the try he scored, Westerman, in round 1 against Hull KR, but he runs hard, he runs with commitment and gets the opening try for Wakefield Trinity.
Johnson who collects the restart. Taucher in there, Watts in there for the Tigers. Kyle Wood now. Ashurst ends off one, can't get through all of the homes.
Another solid performer, Matty Ashurst. Wakefield Trinity with all players turning up. Lovely pass on there.
And Tupou with some space in which to work. Tries on his 3 previous visits to Castleford. Crossed in defeats in 2016, 17 and 18. And then all about his threat. Here is Reese Litt.
Move, hold him. Hold. Go, 4.
Westerman. Huddersfield have taken the lead. Meanwhile, Hull Kingston Rovers goes to an action, as are Warrington and Toronto tonight. Hampshire's kick on the last tackle.
That's a beauty.
What a sensational kick that is, and they've managed to follow it up.
A great period of possession there for Wakefield. The best way to get your opponents to spread the defenders is to go wide and around them, which they did earlier in this set. Then when Castleford have spread, they've gained ground down the middle, and then a wonderful kick here. With a goal line drop out, you'd expect to give them possession back again. James Clark teased, isn't he? He's hoping it's going to roll over the dead ball line, but the weighting of it was perfect.
Turned up to this game, he excited about Truman and Richardson, the long kicking game, and particularly the short kicking game of Truman, but so far the kicking game of Miller and Ryan Hampshire on that occasion. They're in front, 9 minutes on the clock.
It was Richardson who dropped out, and so Wakefield can put some more pressure on this Castleford defence now. Westerman, the try scorer. Tanganoa under the tackle there of Nathan Massey. Miller Short ball, Ashurst. Punching some holes in this Castleford defence early on. Wakefield, can they go back to back? Here is Miller again. Markers weren't square.
Speed of the play, the ball in Wakefield's favour as well. There was a cry from the back of the sticks to our right as we're looking for a high tackle.
Well, knowing how close these games have been between these two sides in recent occasions, doesn't surprise me here if Wakefield elect to kick at goal. For a regular goal kicker, 15 metres to the left of the post, 10 metres or so, you'd expect him to nail this, and they would take an 8-point advantage inside the opening 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Good work from Acton Arthur. Kyle Wood, the number 9 for Wakefield, a much underrated player. Sometimes he comes on off the bench, sometimes he starts. Chris Chester using him in the opening 13. Showed it to the open side, went blind, and his side have ended up with a 2-point opportunity here.
Danny Brough watching on alongside his coach Chris Chester as Ryan Hampshire adds 2 more points. And Trinity lead by 8 points to 0.
You've got to start well at Castleford. We're just over the top of the Castleford crowd. When they start, the atmosphere grows. When they start singing, they start chanting. It really does allow the Castleford Tigers to ride that wave. Well, they've silenced this crowd here at Weldon Road.
Not beaten Castleford since Brian Smith's side won 24-22 here back in February 2015.
One move. We're back. Hold,
strongly in again. Kyle Wood. Now Ashurst. Enveloped immediately there by Massey.
Hold.
Warrington have the lead against Toronto meanwhile.
Great footwork there. Tanganoa, the number 36. Always has the ability to beat the first defender.
From a junior Kangaroo, Australian schoolboy as well, and New South Wales under-20.
Oh, that's great play by Riesling and Max Jewett. The interplay, one back supporting another. Short pass that gets the last tackle for Hampshire.
Rankin with work to do from his own line, next 5 metres, and then it's taken high by Hampshire. That's undone some of that good work.
Relief for the Tigers, because Wakefield side really were getting into this and on top with their opponents. Every start set for the Tigers down near their own line. He's caught him high, and it relieves so much of the pressure.
I agree with you, Phil. It was lovely interplay. Max Jowett, I'm pretty sure it was Craig Kopchak who was in support. If that pass was made, who knows, 10, 20, 30 metres or maybe even a try. Another penalty at the play of the ball here. Wakefield Trinity, what, we've got 12 minutes on the clock, starting to be shrugged off, losing contact, leaving arms in, clamping the ball, and the referee, James Child, he doesn't like it. He blows his whistle again.
We are going back up. Okay.
A couple of errors from the former Castleford man, Ryan Hampshire, has allowed Liam Watts to put Tigers in a good position here. 20 metres away, they need a response. Darryl Powell's men.
Move, come on, Kyle. Oh, Kyle.
McShane goes left. Truman. Now Oliver Holmes.
Move. Get square. Hold, Joe.
East Lynn on the tacklers for Wakefield. Massey now.
Move, Joe. Hold. Go, far.
McShane. That was Truman, short ball.
5.
Griffin, no way through for him. McShane, teasing kick. Where's this going to go? It's come up for Chase Blair. It's come up for the Castleford Tigers. We said they needed a response, and Chase Blair has provided it. Superb kick as well, and tries now in 3 consecutive for Chase Blair. His 3rd in Super League this season.
Playing in the back row these days, Chase Blair makes himself available. You know, playing with Paul McShane, he's going to look, he's going to scheme. If anything's available to him, he's going to take it. He comes back a little bit, draws the defenders towards him. Lovely, delicate little kick with that left boot. And for the 3rd time this year in 2020, Chase Blair, he gets a try. Lovely stuff.
Well, by Castleford's attacking standards, I thought the 5 players leading up to this were pretty conservative. Just 1 or 2 passes, not much deception or movement of players. But all of a sudden on that last one, Chase Blair jumped out of the starting blocks and pounced for that early points. really, after a disappointing opening 10-12 minutes.
It's a credit to Castleford Tigers' work ethic, though. They've defended and made twice as many tackles as their opponents. If we look at the front row, they've made over 30 tackles, and Wakefield Trinity, as a team, have made just over that amount. So
Richardson. Too hard, the deficit. There's 2 points the difference now, 8 points to 6. Chase Blair already exceeded last year's try tally. Just 4 matches played.
The brilliance there is in the quality of the kick, and I suppose the timing of the run from Chase Blair. But it's so hard when you've got defenders in front of you, not for the ball to hit their legs, you know, to find the space, which is what Paul McShane did.
Been in sensational form, Paul McShane, already this year. Back to his best, and that kick certainly is one of the best exponents of that particular skill in Super League.
another short kick-off. Castleford did it straight from the kick-off, and Wakefield maybe not putting it on the back line. The referee's happy with that play. The ball didn't look quite right, did it? There you go. And he's lost it there, Griffin. I think it might be a play. Oh no, it's a ball steal, that. James Child saying that Griffin was tackled. There were arms around the ball and it was stripped, and you can quite clearly see that Matty Ashurst is the guilty man.
More trouble for Toronto, meanwhile, Warrington extending their lead at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Here is Matautia for Castleford, finds McShane. This now Liam Watts, typically direct. The only cast representative in last year's Super League Dream Team continues to lead from the front. 29-year-old McShane. Richardson floats the ball over the top, and there could be in again here. Daryl Alfords. Back-to-back tries for Castleford Tigers, and they hit the front. Daryl Alfords, blistering pace to cross in Perpignan last week, and now 3 tries in a row for the 28-year-old.
Well, it's only round 4. It is only round 4, but I think Daryl Alfords is the best buy in Super League this season, and will turn out to be by the time we get to the end of the year. This is a wonderful pass from Danny Richardson. People criticise his decisions in defence, but it was a wonderful pass there to invite his winger on the right side to catch that ball and ground it here to help his side take the lead for the first time. Wonderful play by Castleford. A penalty got them out of that situation. They've converted here. We're going to see, I think, a higher scoring game than many people predicted.
I would love to know whether his first option, he has a short line just right on his shoulder, and I think because the play is that close and that tight, he pulls it back in, throws it around the back to Daryl Alfords, who's holding his chalk, hugging his touchline. A wonderful player with a blistering pace and a good try-scoring rate.
People forget, really, as we see Danny Richardson here try and nail this kick from the sideline with the wind. Well, he's not done too bad, but it's waved away by the supporters. But Daryl Alfords, I think people, when they think about Salford last season, so many have thought of Josh Jones or Robert Louis early in the year, Jackson Hastings. But I think Daryl Alfords was the 3rd best player that Salford had. And it doesn't surprise me that Castleford, under Darrell Powell, have made the decision to bring him here and add him to that right flank.
And don't say it too loudly around these parts. Grew up a Wakefield Trinity fan as well. So a sweet moment for the winger.
Sweet moment for Gareth Widdop. He's got that second Warrington try, incidentally.
Clearly goes backwards, isn't it? The Wakefield fans shouting for knock-on, but wasn't the case. Wakefield making it hard for them now to get away from their own try line.
Ashurst. Kyle Wood. Defence for Wakefield. Truman. All the way through for Jordan Rankin. It's Jay Pitts who the tackle in, and on the 4th tackle it's Richardson who spears that ball downfield. Good kick as well, turns Jowett around.
An early kick, and look at that chase there. Orange and black wall in front of Wakefield Trinity as they collect that ball. A good decision, good communication, and Castleford react. And now we're back to pile the pressure on Trent.
The Tupu now. Comes in from Holmes, Hampshire. Further on. It's Westerman under 3 tacklers there for Castleford. Will just delays that ball. No way through though for Joe Arundel.
Go, chase on square.
Screams of forward pass from the Castleford fans beneath us. They've got away with one perhaps already. Here is the kick from Miller on the last tackle. Really well taken.
The type of kick that they're putting in Wakefield, it's an end-over-end kick, so they know where they're placing the ball. I think they're challenging Castleford to come away from their own line, rather than making that ball a spiral kick, that last tackle option, a spiral kick, to try and get a result from it. They're going to back their own defence tonight, Wakefield.
Oh, head collision here. James Clare's caught Ryan Hampshire. He went to the ground immediately.
Just about to his feet now. Here is the last tackle, and so Richardson is aerial again.
Well taken by Jarrett. We talk about the wind and the conditions that Darryl Powell referenced before the game. He moved from left to right, Jarrett there, the ball moving and tracked its path in the sky.
Well, listen, mate.
There's the head clash, isn't it? James Clare, flush on the cheek, temple. You can see right away Ryan Hampshire, Rocky Hampshire. Doesn't like the feel of that. Doctor, the medical staff are taking a look. He was right in front of us here. I don't know whether he was feeling his teeth, the back of his jaw.
Okay, mate.
Nasty collision. Bravely tried to get back in the line and become a defender, but quite rightly the game is stopped. They're going to assess him, maybe take him off and have a better look at him.
Is it more of a facial injury, a cheekbone or loose teeth? I think was more of his concern than concussion.
Yeah, there's some blood coming from the mouth there. Cut the inside of his mouth. Either way, it stings a bit.
Free ball. Okay.
He takes his place in this Wakefield attack, and Lynn first up for Trinity. But into this second quarter, just 2 points the difference for Castleford. Wakefield lost things early on.
Player from Kyle Wood. 2 crafty nines on shore with McShane and Kyle Wood. As the game starts to open up in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'm sure we'll see more from the respective number 9s.
Back on the inside from Westerman. No way through for Kopchak though. Has got the penalty. Massey in there for Castleford.
And they're not going to break the line, just putting nice inside players on, but what you get is a legs tackler. Griffin ends up around the legs and thighs of Kopchak. I think it's Massey with hands on, no real weight in that tackle. You can see it's a lunging tackle. Nathan Massey, he's all around the top. And at that point there, the referee blows his whistle again. Wakefield with good field position, like they're going to keep the ball and try and pile some pressure on the Tigers.
Chris Chester not happy. Be happy with his field position though. Can Wakefield turn it into points?
No square, chase.
Wood, Westerman. Hanging on out. 15 metres away. Plenty of tackles in the bank as well. Westerman. That was Miller.
That's a great tackle. Good recognition. Comes out and shuts that player down, Matautia.
Brilliant from Peter Matautia. Here now is Westerman once more. So the tackle this time of Griffin. Kyle Wood. Miller. That was Hampshire. Is there a hole? Managed to get the ball away. That was brilliant. Now Lynn has some space. Can he find the line?
Just short, Ben.
0 tackle call, so they've got all the pressure now. Just a metre short. Gilt-edged opportunity for Wakefield. Tanganoa so close. Wood. Pitts. Held up.
Held up on 2. J-Pitts. Okay, it's tackle 2. All right, tackle 2. Call.
And this is a maximal effort here now for the Tigers, defending the line for another set. Full pace from the Wakefield team.
What have Castleford got left in defence? Westerman. The ball away.
Hold. Go 3.
Navarrete plays it. Westerman once more against his old club. He's gone over once. He's gone over twice, but he's held up again.
Great defence from Castleford Tigers. Jay Pitts was so close. The other side of those sticks there, and Nathan Massey, with his 21st defensive effort, got a magnificent engine on him, Nathan Massey.
Miller at the line. Hampshire, are they going to lock the door this time? No. Jowett is stopped in his tracks there by Shenton. Hampshire again puts a kick in, looking for the post. It comes off the post.
He was in goals, wasn't he, Liam Watts? Great save for him. Maybe stopped on the floor. There's some contact with his head as well. But that was an important ricochet that he got back into position. He got low. And this is pretty good skill by a big man. He's been running around for 20-odd minutes there. I think we sometimes forget that. To take that in cleanly, his heart's beating out of his chest with the work he's had to do in attack and defence. They've survived the Tigers. That onslaught that Wakefield threw at them.
Another player with a really big engine. Darryl Powell trusts his players to stay out there for big minutes. You can just see at the back, Grant Millington just about to take a carry. If I'm not mistaken, I think that might be the first interchange for Castleford Tigers.
Release, okay, I'll hold. Got 2.
First substitute appearance for Millington.
Oh, unlucky.
Tautia trying to find old Fitz. He has found the winger, but just lost momentum.
That was a shame. Great player, wasn't it? They recognised the space but couldn't find the pass. And again now they invite Wakefield to attack. That's the risk and reward of taking your passes, taking your chances. It was a risky pass by Peter Matautia.
That combination over on this right side for Castleford Tigers, he's only going to get better with Matautia and Darrell Alfort's just a little bit too far up into the line.
Not sure where the knock-on is. Ball clearly goes backwards.
Shot knock off, ball in. Out.
Could it be costly for Castleford? They've turned the ball over deep in Wakefield territory here. Jay Pitts first up for Trinity. Tanginoa.
2. Move. Line.
6 metres short. Relentless Wakefield pressure. Kyle Wood. That was Hampshire. Short ball from Miller, flick from Ashurst. Miller has it back. Is there space for Johnson in the corner?
Oh my word!
We said about the sensational finishes from Tom Johnson. Is that another one for the collection?
Time off.
My gut feeling is he's got it.
We have a try.
It's a try on the
Finish. Magic Johnson over on that left side. I might be wrong, but my instinct was he'd finished. Left hand, he's got it out. All his body is in the air. Oh my God.
The ball touches the line, doesn't it? That's all you need to do in rugby league. As long as it touches the try line before the sideline, which I think it does because of the shape of the ball.
That's amazing.
Is his hand still in contact with the ball from there?
Yeah.
It's a brilliant grip, isn't it?
It's an outstanding try.
Foot's off the floor.
Every part of his body is off the floor, apart from the ball. That's a try. Give it so we can all applaud. Stand up and clap our hands.
Well, the referee gave it, the touch judge gave it. They were the ones with a live instinct, like yours, Barry.
Yeah.
Sensed it was the score.
Yeah.
And I think this is just confirmation here now. We've seen this before, haven't we?
Part of me sensed it because we've seen him finish so many times from impossible positions. He's really perfected that art. Come on, confirm it.
The try confirmed by video referee Tom Grant. And the impossible is possible for this man, Tom Johnson. 50-metre special last week. And another special finish in the corner. 63 now in 83 appearances for Trinity. What a remarkable record that is. 68 in fact in 83. Wow.
Just seen his teammates congratulate him. That always happens in rugby league. But I think the look on their faces was that of surprise. They thought it's impossible that you could get in past the 2 Tigers defenders, ground the ball without being ruled out of play. But he does it. He kept the ball alive. It's a great pass by Miller, an early one to cut him out. He knows that there's an invitation for Johnston, and Tom does not disappoint.
Sensational score from Tom Johnson. Hampshire canning at the extras. He's missed the target, but Wakefield back in front, 12-10 now.
Well, I instinctively thought he'd got it. What did his coach think? As the ball goes down, Matty Ashurst with a lovely offload. Important we pay tribute to his contribution. What does the coach think? I think he's got that. He agrees with me.
Tom Johnston brings the Wakefield crowd and the coach to their feet. Navarrete plays the ball. It's going to be a Wakefield penalty. Millington in there.
The referee's showing a level of consistency, isn't he? He doesn't want to interfere. So the tackle's complete. You have to take your hands away from the ball. You have to release the player. Allow Romain Navarrete to restart play with a correct play of the ball. And again, he was prevented from doing so.
Elsewhere in Super League tonight, Huddersfield now 10-0 up at Hull Kingston Rovers. Warrington further ahead against Toronto, 16-0 now. Steve Price's men lead.
Move! Get square. Go. 2.
Scampering run from Kyle Ward brings in Westerman, faced by Millington. Shane blocks the ball up alongside Daniel Smith in there.
Got 3.
Now it's Miller. Ashurst gets away from a couple. Takes Massey back, still going. Really solid run
I like that. He got a clip round his chops, but kept going, got on with his job, didn't play for the penalty. Well done, Matty Ashurst.
Miller drops it off for Westerman this time.
Oh, he released it, but he couldn't find his teammate, Jacob Miller.
Castleford come up with it. Truman in possession now for the hosts.
Quality offloader of the ball, isn't he, Joe Westerman? With players around him, he felt that he could get the ball away, but Castleford Tigers just intercepted it. There you go.
I think, sorry.
Well,
Now Daniel Smith's lost the ball.
big tackle from Kyle Ward. Hits just underneath the ball on Big Dan Smith. Replacement for the Castleford Tigers. He felt that. He felt that.
Brave effort from a little man here. Big effort from Kyle Wood.
Hits the ball. Leaves his hands in or around the arms of Dan Smith, but he bumps off with that left arm. Always vulnerable when you use the arm, carrying the ball to bump a defender. It's just taking a couple of deep breaths there now. Kyle Ward had a good opening 30 minutes or so.
Another former Castleford man, 5 appearances for the Tigers back in 2010.
Heads in, Max. Nice and close, mate. Okay. Ball in. Help!
Matautia. McShane darts out. The dummy half.
Playing for the penalty there, Paul McShane. He knows what he's doing. It's a good carry from Castleford Tigers. Matautia ends up with defenders at the back of him. And Kalepi Tanganoa trying to get back. Paul McShane scheming away, trying to get some advantage for his side.
Well, we've played for half an hour and the scoreboard's almost level, but one thing that isn't is where the game's been played. Wakefield have had a bit more possession, and they've had so much of it in Castleford's half of the field. Yeah, we're going to get to see now as possession evens up a little bit with the Tigers. The Tigers need a bit better field position to add to it.
They're in the right place, Daryl Powell's men. Can they retake the advantage here? Massey play the ball for McShane. Now it's Richardson. Chase Blair. And Millington. Nice ball for Truman, and Truman holds on. So dangerous. Truman in possession. Rankin.
Is that touched? Kyle Wood, Jacob Miller for a second. I think he has a little pat at that ball. Jake Truman over on this left side. I have to say, don't you? Jace Blair looks a different player in the back row over on the right for Castleford. It's just behind Grant Millington, touched by Wakefield.
When the Tigers were at the best, are at their best, they can score from situations like this. They've got enough brains in their coaching department to create the opportunity, and they've got enough pace in the back line to score from this situation. If you think you're a defender now, you've got a wide space between you and your colleague alongside you, because obviously the scrum situation, it's about a perfect scenario for an attacking back line to back themselves here now and think, listen, we're good enough here. Great teams and good players can score from this play. And the Tigers, I think, when they hopefully patch up Kyle J. Pitts and get back into the scrum, have got a wonderful opportunity now to try and do so.
Joe, you're getting
London man Jay Pitts in the wars. Made his second debut for Trinity at Hull Kingston Rovers a fortnight ago.
Sorry, so the difference with that one there, you were on the ground, but instead, that's the difference. Yeah.
Just over half an hour gone, and a chance for both sets of players to take a breather. Wakefield won just one of the last 10 away matches, in fact, in League and Cup. This is a slender lead just now.
Arms around the head in there. Wait. Nice and close on your loose forward. Right,
Castleford to retake the advantage here. And Truman immediately from that scrum, as Phil mentioned. No way through, though, for Rankin. Hook him in from Reece Lynn. This is Smith. What do Castleford have in the locker here? Shane moves back the other way, gives it to Richardson. It's Chase Blair. Way through Tanganoa. Richardson once more. Here is Millington. Now Massey.
Jake Truman is desperate for this ball. Second time he's called for it and not got it.
McShane. Truman has it now. Wide for Rankin. Brilliant ball, and James Clare into the corner. They do go back in front, Castleford Tigers. And James Clare continues his sensational form against Wakefield. A hat-trick at Trinity last July. And now another one on home soil against their neighbours. Look what it means on the terraces. And James Clare strikes to put Castleford back in front.
That's why they're so excited here at Castleford Tigers. The 6 and 7, the creativity, the invention that they've got. That ball was placed into the path of Jordan Rankin, but he spotted that 2 tackles ago, kept the communication going, maybe adjusted things slightly, but was good enough to set that up, takes it to the teeth of the defence, and what a quality play there from Jordan Rankin. Drew in Reece Lynn, created that 2v1, and an outstanding finish by James Clare over on the left.
Double in a 28-26 home defeat of Wakefield last Easter as well, James Clare. More Kane. A smile. Richardson attempts to add the extras. Off target, Castleford ahead now by 2.
That's a good finish, isn't it, in the end? He has to be in the right place, James Clare. He's one of 3 Castleford players who comes from a community club just about 100 metres from this ground. Club Lock Lane here, a local club that have produced so many players. James Clare, Oliver Holmes, Liam Watts, 3 men who started here today, who began playing there, and he'll be delighted, I think. That's the pride with which he puts into this performance.
I wonder what that try has done to the hearts of Wakefield Trinity. For me, 33 minutes, Wakefield Trinity have pushed, have challenged. Let's look at that scoreboard quite a few times when that try was scored. Again, I've got the feeling that Wakefield are still in this game, but when Castleford have had opportunities, they've taken them. Will it tell at the back end of the game? We'll have to wait and see. Big defensive efforts by Cas Tigers, who've done almost 25 tackles more than their opponents.
4 needed to bring Millington to his knees. Shane. It's Jax O'Neill on the field now. Picks up Jordan Rankin. Two hookers out there for Castleford in this last 6 minutes first half. Tackle comes in from Matautu immediately on Johnston. The action coming thick and fast for you here on Sky Sports. The Women's NRL All-Stars first up tomorrow, 6 o'clock Sky Sports action. And the men's follow-up, that's an 8:30 start, also on action.
Goal 3, good.
And the big one, the Betfred World Club Challenge. Who will rule the world, St Helens or Sydney Roosters? Find out exclusively live on Sky Sports from 7 o'clock, Sky Sports action.
Looks like there's an injury there. Is it Max Jowett? Joe Rundle goes down heavy. I think it's Grant Millington who comes in heavy to try and finish off the tackle. Look at that, rugby league players, don't they astonish you? He still won't let go of the ball. He's making himself difficult to put down. Jax O'Neill can't do it. Watch the big number 10 for Cass. Comes in and finishes it off. I don't know whether he's managed to twist or leave his foot in the wrong place. You can see him tangled up with Jax O'Neill. Let's hope he's okay.
Fourth man.
He's still got over the rugby league ball. Lee Gilmore, Chris Chester, Michael Carter in front of him, Danny Brough. Relatively pleased with the way that their side has played, but again, behind on the scoreboard. The tale of the two teams is one's taken the chances available, the other one have piled pressure, created chances, created opportunities.
Just wait, Joel.
28 years of age now, Joe Rundle. His career began with Castleford back at the age of just 16.
Wait.
16 tries in 44 Tigers appearances. Toronto on the board against Warrington. 22 points to 6 though, the Wolves lead now. Josh Wood gets the ball away and Hampshire with the kick. Taken well by Rankin.
I think if you look at Wakefield's performance, the needle seems to be dropping here. The speed with which they're moving, the passes they're throwing, the accuracy of a lot of things. I don't know whether they're able to keep that intensity that they had at the start here, or whether the Tigers are the ones finishing their first half stronger and faster.
Adam Tangata.
Big 5 minutes coming up and Castleford shift the ball wide immediately. Some space for Holmes initially. Scrambling defence from Tangata. Truman trying to slip the net. Tigers sense something here and Richardson on the last tackle. They chase his own kick there, and that's brilliant from Johnston.
Was he injured in that? His body was twisted very awkwardly.
Let's hope not.
He did so well to get to the ball, but
No.
he's just come back from a terrible injury nightmare.
It was a teasing kick, wasn't it, from Danny Richardson? He stoops down low, he plants that right foot, the left foot is underneath. Awkwardly.
The referee's blown the whistle, hasn't he, Barry? He's blown a penalty here for contact with the head from Peter Matautia.
Well, I'm actually not bothered about that. I just hope Tom Johnston's okay.
Well, we've seen this before, with the human body is very resilient. He's back up on his feet. So he's flexible enough, supple enough to recover from that.
And for a long time, years after sometimes, those big injuries, the back of your brain still sends a little signal. He doesn't like it. But thankfully, he looks like he's okay.
2 serious knee injuries in 3 years for Tom Johnston. Thankfully, okay to continue.
Move! Hold the 10. Hold. Good, 2.
Tangata who played the ball, and now
That's an example of that player where Wakefield haven't got the precision or teamwork that they had at the start of the match. Everyone was running the right lines at the right time. No longer, whether that's an element of fatigue.
Move! Come on, Paul!
just over 3 minutes to put themselves back in front, perhaps here. Chris Chester's men. Rowan Navarrete charges it.
Doesn't drop that ball. The referee said it was straight. Grant Millington getting up, shaking his head. But the Frenchman, we know, having watched him in his Wigan days, his Catalan days, Another play that goes in with those buffers up. Left arm like a human shield, a right arm carrying the ball. Paul McShane's around the ball. Grant Millington helps it on its way. They're going to go for two here.
Yes, I think they will.
For me,
They kicked 5 goals last week, Ryan Hampshire. They know, they understand the importance of every 2 points that they can take, and 25 metres from the post, you'd expect him to nail this.
2.5 to go, and Hampshire
stay
chance
onside, guys.
to lock things up. 14 points all. Flags will tell you he's managed to do that. Castleford 14, Wakefield 14 inside the last 2 minutes.
When you're in possession, don't grab players, right? Don't grab players when you're in possession.
I think the nod of the head tells you the story there, doesn't it? Chris Chester, he'll take that. They go in, all locked up, 14 each. A little bit of consultation with the Brains Trust at the side of him. Lee Gilmore, Danny Brough, of course, the talisman for his side that's not out there, but I'm sure he gives some feedback to Miller and Hampshire in the dressing rooms at half-time.
Already half-time at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, and Warrington with a 10-point lead over Toronto. 22-12 there. Westerman now, marauding run from him. Lost the ball, it's an untidy play of the ball, if indeed it was a play of the ball.
Stripped again. It looks like they've found some of that energy that was lacking. A couple of big charges, making 15 and 20 metres, and Joe Westerman, the former Castleford Tiger, with 3 defenders around him, again with hands around the ball. Dan Smith on that occasion.
Time's off, 2 balls.
They need to tidy that up, Castleford. Shoulders in, bodies in front.
Another man with connections to both these clubs, Daniel Smith, began his career with Wakefield 6 years ago this week. 7 tries in 38 Trinity appearances. Will it get better for Chris Chester's men before the break? Inside the last 40 seconds now. And a great opportunity though here. Fantastic field position, great offload from Ashurst. That's Arundel. Still plenty of tackles in the bank as well.
Another player holding his knee.
It's the same left knee,
It's the same player holding his knee. They had the overload, didn't they? They had the numbers, Wakefield. But credit the effort from Castleford Tigers to get across. Just around the midsection, Chase Blade pulls the player down, and he's in all kinds of discomfort.
Discipline, discipline.
This is a test of concentration. Obviously, it's a test of the medical skills and ability to get him back up on his feet for Wakefield. But for the other players on the field here now, 15 vital seconds. When you stop and pause, sometimes your mind switches off momentarily here. And Wakefield are desperate, I think, firstly to see Joe Arundel back up on his feet and well enough to play in the second half. And whether or not they're good enough here to crack the Castleford defence. The more time he spends on the floor, the less likely he's going to be able to play on, and Chris Chester's frustration recognises here now he's going to be down, I think, 1 player for the second 40. And maybe for more than just that.
Not again, says the Wakefield coach. Powell looking on as well. Arundel is helped off the field. Sad return so far to his former club for the 28-year-old. Now it is all about concentration, as Phil suggested.
Drop goal, Barry?
Looking at Ryan Hampshire, I'm looking at Jacob Miller. No, I don't think they'll leave the opportunity.
Come back for Miller. Right to the last, Jacob Miller puts Wakefield ahead. The 1-pointer right at the death in this first half. Wakefield back in front. 15 points to 14. Nothing to choose between these two, really, though, after 40 minutes. Chris Chester obviously concerned about that injury to Joe Arundel. As Darryl Powell makes his way off the field 4 times. The lead changed hands in that first half. First of all, it was Westerman who opened up for Wakefield. Hampshire with a penalty. 2 tries from Blair and Olferts for Castleford. Johnston then for Wakefield. Clare for Tigers. And then Hampshire and a Miller drop goal put Wakefield in front. 15-14 half-time.
There are, of course, 2 other games in round 4 of the Betfred Super League. The only unbeaten side in Super League so far, Huddersfield, are halfway towards their 3rd win of the season. They hold a 10-0 half-time lead over Hull Kingston Rovers. Lewis Senior with a very early try in that game. Lee Gaskell with 1 on the 20-minute mark. Aidan Caesar successful with 1 conversion attempt. 10-0 for Simon Wolford's side. Over at the Halliwell Jones Stadium is shaping up to be quite the game. 16-0 lead for Warrington. Tries from Charnley, Widdop and Lynham. John Wilkin pulled one back for Toronto. Maddie Ashton recalled and scored for the Wolves as they headed towards half-time before Andy Ackers got a late try. 10-point lead for the home side in that one. We're at the Mendahose Jungle, and there's the slenderest of leads for the visitors, Wakefield Trinity, who have lost their last 13 against the Castleford Tigers. Can they hold on in the second 40 minutes for what would be a memorable victory? Jacob Miller's drop goal separating the sides at half-time. Let's have a look at the half-time stats, and it will show you not a great deal between both sides, with very high completion rates for both teams, 94% each. More possession for Wakefield, and a lot of that was in the Castleford end of the field. A little bit of indiscipline, though, meant they were unable to capitalise. Relatively few handling errors for both sides in what are very windy conditions. Low missed tackle count as well. Let's take you into the Castleford Tigers dressing rooms. Adam Milner is our guest in studio. You said during the week Darryl Powell had steam coming out his ears. Do you think that steam will be re-emerging at half-time?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think he'll be happy with that, especially the start. We spoke about it all pre-season, about getting his start rights to games, and you know, the 4 games that we've had this year, his starts have been really disappointing. So it's one area that we need to fix up, and yeah, it's been a pretty poor half from us, and it's well off our standards.
Well, you found yourselves 8 points down after 10 minutes. Wakefield 8 points up. Terry and Chris Chester now with his side in a pretty good position at half-time, albeit a 1-point lead, but you would imagine they would have taken that coming into this game.
It'd be really happy, Brian. Both sides completing high. On the back of that, you've got to make sure you're disciplined as well, and 2 tries that Chris Chester's men conceded were off the back of penalties. They started really strongly. They scored first, and that's what Chris Chester would have talked about. Let's get off to a decent start here and try and quieten the home fans.
Okay, 5 tries and a Jacob Miller drop goal to talk about. We can go to John Wells at the touchscreen to take apart that first 40 minutes. John.
Thanks very much, Brian. Yeah, really tight first 40 minutes. The try scoring was started by Wakefield. They started and finished the half by putting points on the board. Here's Joe Westerman's try as early as the 5th minute. He crosses. Nice little bit of deception at the line from Jacob Miller. Ryan Hampshire added a penalty goal, an infringement in just the left-hand side of the sticks by the Castleford Tigers. Then Chase Blair profited from close-range accurate kick from Paul McShane. That was on 13 minutes. Got to within 2 points. And then they took the lead with a nice cut-out ball to Darrell Olferts. 25 minutes came, and the moment of the first half arrived. An exquisite finish, a worldie from Tom Johnston. Second phase play, and you will not see a better finish than that all season. James Clare returned the favour for the Castleford Tigers and got on the end of a nice scooped-out ball from Jordan Rankin to put the Tigers back in the lead. A Ryan Hampshire penalty levelled the scores, and the last action before we went into the dressing rooms was that drop goal from Jacob Miller, and it's the reason that Wakefield lead by the slenderest of margins, just 1 point. It was a tight, gritty first 40 minutes, punctuated by 2 special moments, in my opinion. I'm going to bring you the first. This was the lead-up to Darrell Olfert's try in the 16th minute, and a lovely piece of instinctive play here from Danny Richardson. It all starts because Wakefield get the numbers wrong, and it's because the Castleford Tigers are firing in players close to the ruck. They've got late retreats who are forcing decision makers at the back into decisions that they've got that one wrong. They've sent an extra player open in Craig Kopchak. Castleford have got 5 on the short side against Wakefield's 4. Add to that Danny Richardson's ability when he takes the ball to skip over and cut out another defender, and he sees out the corner of his eye a movement from Tom Johnston, who is forced in to try and read this ball here, and a really, really late changing pass type to Darrell Olferts. Have another look here. Have a look what Danny Richardson sees. It's a flash, a real flash from Tom Johnston's boots, and that's enough for Darrell Olferts. But that was eclipsed within 6 minutes by this from Tom Johnston, and we're only in round 4, but I'll wager you'll not see a better finish than this all season. The ball goes out to the right-hand side, to the left-hand, Castleford's right-hand edge, and once this ball comes into contact here, that's what Castleford Tigers' Darryl Powell will be really annoyed about, that ball wasn't stopped there. We're going to take one final look at this corner, because it's worth another look from this low angle. Once the ball gets into Tom Johnston's arm, it's all about this now. It seems counterintuitive that he takes the ball up and out and away from the defenders, but it's all in the hand strength. And just look at the time he spends in getting this down onto the field, onto the ground. What a finish from Tom Johnston. Outstanding stuff.
Yeah, not the first person to say John Wells doesn't know what he's talking about. Back on air. Hey, what a try. What a finish.
Yeah, outstanding. That's something Tom Johnston can do, and you know, he's just shown his skill set there.
Okay, what do Castleford Tigers need to fix up? Concisely, what do they need to fix up to win this game?
Penalties have been a big one for both teams. Both teams can't defend penalties either. Back-to-back sets, and both teams conceded on the back of it. So certainly that'll be the message in the changing room: is fix up his defence. Need to be a lot more tighter and stiffer, and you know, win collisions and stuff. So yeah, that'll be the key message in the changing room.
Terry O'Connor, pre-game, you picked the Castleford Tigers. Wakefield half-time lead by 1 point. You want to change?
Picked Wakefield before the game. I thought Wakefield were going to win, and I'm still going to stick with Wakefield. If they exactly the same as what Adam's saying, if Wakefield can sort the discipline out, when they get up near Cass's line, they look dangerous. Both sides look dangerous. Most disciplined side will win this game.
Okay, we will see who that will be. We've got 40 more minutes from this Betfred Super League game. It's round 4. It's a 1 point half-time lead for Wakefield, a side that have come here and lost in the last 7 visits. They've lost the last 13. Unlucky 13 against the Castleford Tigers. They're halfway towards resurrecting themselves. Find out with Ben and the boys if they can do it the other side of this break.
Three huge games from the Premier League, only live on Sky Sports. Starts with Leicester against Manchester City. That's a 5 o'clock start tomorrow on Sky Sports Premier League. And then on Sunday, it's Arsenal against Everton. That's from 4 o'clock. And then we finish with the Monday Night Football. The leaders Liverpool against West Ham is a 7 o'clock start. All those on Sky Sports Premier League. Half-time at the Jungle. And it's Wakefield, the visitors, who lead courtesy of the drop goal right at the death there from Jacob Miller. It's his 6th Wakefield drop goal, and Trinity have gone on to win on each of the last 5 occasions that he has slotted over a 1-pointer. Is that an omen going into the second half? Certainly Chris Chester will hope so, as Max Jowett prepares to get us underway second half. Castleford sent out early by Darryl Powell. Warming up a good 5 minutes before Wakefield came out. Getting the ball in hands, getting used to possession again, getting switched on. Darryl Powell knows his men need something second half as Millington takes it up strongly.
Don't get him down on the floor either, do they? Paul McShane is allowed then to pop out from dummy half, steal another 8 metres. Jax O'Neill does likewise.
O'Neill into the tackle there. Ashurst. And then Tangata. Here is Richardson. Now Chase Blair. Good hit from Ashurst. Last one, it's with Richardson. Dabs the ball skyward again. It's Jowett who's missed it. Rankin has it, manages to find a miraculous offload as well. Further wide from O'Neill. Castleford can sense something at the start of this second half. It's the last play though. Hack forward. Could bounce anywhere. It's Westerman's boot who gets there. Absolutely crucial intervention from the former Castleford man.
Helter-skelter end to the first set here of the second half. I thought at one point that the Tigers would score when Rankin broke through and had support to his left, but he couldn't find his players. So many white shirts worked hard to get back, fill in the gaps and prevent an easy try, and then they go for the second kick. Here's a high one up, everyone's onside, they come back and they're just about again. The desperation from Westerman clears the ball, but it's momentary relief here for Wakefield as they'll have to do it all over again.
Jowett's restart taken by Truman. Daniel Smith charges it back.
Go, come there.
Neil.
2. Move! All this 10. Go, come there, 2.
And Garter with the tackle. Truman finds Rankin, no way through. Reece Lynn's tackle though.
Hold, Joe, hold. Go, 3.
McShane. Truman once more. Has Smith for company this time. Straightens things up. 8 metres short.
Hold. Go, 4.
Couple of tackles still to go. McShane. Truman. Flung wide to Shenton. Oh, he's found a miraculous offload. And then in the corner, it's James Clare who's...
Is his foot in touch? I'd like to know whether his foot is in touch. He bobbled with the ball.
Barry, what's your gut saying?
I'm going to say no try. I think his foot is in touch. The referee and touch
James
work.
Child disagrees. To try on the field.
Let's have a look. James Clare got nowhere near the same grip on that ball. Oh! Well, he keeps it up, doesn't he? He keeps it up. I stand corrected. Does ever so well, James Clare. Ryan Hampshire, I thought he'd done enough.
The referee's awarded a try, hasn't it? There's insufficient evidence to overrule the referee. That's a good score for Castleford. They're back in front.
Waiting on confirmation, and there it is. James Clare with a double against Wakefield. Just as he did last Easter at Bellevue. His 3rd in Super League this season. Can't stop scoring against Wakefield.
It was the 2nd time in this set of possession here where they went to the left. Perhaps the pass there wasn't quite where it should have been, but nevertheless, they still managed to get over in the corner. On 2 occasions, they tested and questioned the Wakefield defenders over wide on the right-hand side of the field, and they just about found a chink in the armour to get through and get themselves ahead once again.
Doesn't he do well, James Clare? Knows the sideline is there and just lifts his left foot back up.
So a sensational finish from Tom Johnston, and that was really good too, as Richardson tries to add the extras, he can't. Castleford though back in front, the lead changes hands for a 5th time, and we can go downstairs for half-time news now from Jenna Brooks.
Thanks, Ben. Brian asked the question at half-time, didn't he? What do Castleford need to fix up at half-time to win this game? Well, I put the same question to Darryl Powell. He said that they had to step up in defence and step up the intensity, and they have certainly done that. Chris Chester was pleased with that first half. He just said his main message was to stop letting them back into the game. As far as Joe Arundel goes, you saw him before the break, helped from the pitch. It's a knee injury. It's not as serious as first thought, but he will not take part anymore in this game.
Thanks very much, Jenna. Intensity from Darryl Powell. Castleford exhibiting that again as Blair moves in.
I think we had 40 minutes of intensity, and one man who would have been enjoying it, Monty Beethan, who gave a rousing motivational message on social media this week. Former New Zealand warrior Monty Beethan was at the Wildcats in 2006, and I'm sure he'll be enjoying this.
Surrender, 5!
Toronto narrowed the gap meanwhile at the Halliwell Jones. 22-16 there. Last tackle here as Richardson scoops the ball over the top. McShane was chasing it. It's taken brilliantly by Truman. He got a ball away to Rankin, but it didn't find the target. That would have been sensational.
Well, these two sides have provided a pretty exciting game so far, but this is thrilling play here now for the Castleford side. A chip over the top, and you thought when Truman took it in he might find Rankin, and then Johnson on the counter-attack. The speed and intensity is lifted for this second half. Great start to the second 40.
End-to-end action at the Jungle. Josh Wood now for Trinity. Will Tupu wait? To his left was Miller. It was hit. He got the ball away there to Ashurst.
He's pulled it back for a forward pass, hasn't he? James Child awarding possession to Castleford Tigers. He's done this no-look pass a number of times, hasn't he, Jacob Miller? I thought it was, well, let's have it straight. I thought it was forward to Joe Westerman, but Wakefield got away with it on that occasion, but not then. Jacob Miller and Wakefield give possession away, and maybe Chris Chester and the viewers at home are seeing a good example of what Chris Chester's talking about. Don't let your opposition back into the game. Well, forward passes, cheap penalties, that's certainly what they're doing.
Daryl Alford's for the Tigers. Here is Millington now. Into Westerman's tackle.
Move, get square! Hold.
James Batchelor in there as well, the substitute for Wakefield. Truman, the danger man, trying to slice through again.
He wasn't dangerous enough, was he, in that first 40? We didn't see enough of his play, his creativity.
McShane, though, has got Castleford rolling forward again here. Roared on by this crowd as Truman takes possession, takes charge, gives it to Smith. Last one. McShane with another teasing kick. Was Holmes obstructed there? Hampshire shuttles the ball dead.
Has he been pulled back there? Paul McShane having a growing influence on this game.
We're checking for the merits of the penalty try.
He wants to look. Penalty try here, James Child. Paul McShane with that trusty left boot again.
So
puts it in the
in his opinion, he would award it, wouldn't he, as a penalty try, is what he's saying there. There was collision there. I don't think there's enough there to award a penalty try.
Me neither.
That's only my opinion. It's the video referee here now who needs to decide whether there's sufficient evidence to overrule the referee's live on-field call, which was a try, a penalty try.
It's Batchelor who backs into Oliver Holmes. There's no doubt.
There's contact, isn't there?
There's contact, there's a penalty. Penalty for me, that's about it. You can't say that. Yeah, I think it's a penalty and nothing more. Castleford Tigers, the players, they're going back as if it's been awarded, and they've got the full bag, and Danny Richardson is lining up.
Big moment for Oliver Holmes, his 200 Tigers appearance, remember.
Time back on, no try.
It's no try.
Off we go, 10 minutes.
There's further punishment coming here.
Yeah, well, there's James Batchelor.
Professional foul, so he'll be sent to the sin bin.
Yeah, he backed into Oliver Holmes.
He pulls him back, try scoring situation.
You can understand why James Batchelor has assessed it, weighed it up, and just said to himself, I'll get myself in the way. Oliver Holmes, I think, makes the most of the situation. Chris Chester thinks that's a harsh decision.
Over 2, pull back.
There is the Wakefield coach down on the sidelines now, prowling, not happy at all.
We're going to go for 2 here. Danny Richardson lining it up.
I think it is a hard call, but that's the one the referee's made. I mean, the Tigers have outscored Wakefield 4 tries to 2. It's only that Richardson's missed 3 attempts that they still are only 3 points ahead.
Watching on. Can Richardson convert only his 2nd chance of the game? He's done that. Yeah, so Castleford now ahead by 20 points to 15.
Well, the important involvements for me, for Castleford, were all in and around Paul McShane, around the play of the ball. It was his kick that forced that penalty. It was his break, pick up and go, and it looks to me like he's come out with a purpose. He's come out with a goal. If those markers aren't square, if I think it's on, then I'm going to go.
Stay on!
I mentioned that Castleford came out with purpose before the Wakefield team took to the field for this 2nd period. What about that scoreline from Warrington? 22 points apiece is the latest at the Halliwell Jones.
All this 10.
Gareth O'Brien, Matty Russell with the tries, 2 former Warrington players. That's all locked up there, just as we were not so long ago at the Menderhose Jungle, not so long Not so much now, though.
Well, the Wolfpack clearly had a point to prove when they were embarrassed at the start of that game, and now down to 12 men. Wakefield in a similar situation, but we've often seen in rugby league matches our team down a player, lift another level. Every player seems to find an extra 10%, and that's what Wakefield need right now here to narrow this gap of 5 points.
Jax O'Neill found Paul McShane. Crowd wants another penalty. They're not going to get one just yet. Daniel Smith. Truman under pressure on the last. That's a great kick.
Absolutely. Just rolls over that back line, but to catch and kick and find... Well, it wasn't quite precise enough, was it? He needs to impose himself more on this game. You've seen far more of the ball go through the hands of Danny Richardson. Jake Truman over on the left. Probably needs to step forward now.
His 21st birthday last Sunday, Jake Truman. Congratulations to him. As Reece Lynn carries the ball forward now for Wakefield.
Ball is 10. Go.
Trinity highly effective third, gaining ground with 4 simple plays, one-man passes. How did he end now with the next 2 plays?
Westerman played it for Josh Wood. Hampshire with the kick.
Did it come off a Castleford player?
I think it did, but I think it rebounded. I think the ball hit the player rather than the other way around. He takes it to the line, doesn't it, Ryan Hampshire? Kicks it down at the player. I think it's Michael Shenton it rebounds off.
Kicked it, not played off. Yes, sir.
He's actually trying to get out of the way, Michael Shenton. A long way to go upfield for Cass.
On me, I'll tell you when.
Will be Castleford scrum, and Jake Truman will feed it. An electric break from the base of that scrum. James Clare eventually trapped by Jowett. Play the ball, is a quick one though, and Rankin on the back of that. Rankin's escaped as well.
It was an amazing run by Clay. He burst through the tackle by Matt Ashurst. Surprised himself, I think, and then found open space. The Tigers now with a one-man advantage, looking to really press home and extend the lead here. Put some daylight between them and their opponents.
Millington will play the ball. It's with Richardson. He still lays the pass for Rankin, and Matautia now. 3 of them get there to quell that danger. There are Olfitz. Olfitz looking for the line himself. Can't get through. Combined efforts there of Jowett and Ashurst. Last one, last chance. Matautia wide. Richardson. Truman's kick. Bubbles up. Oliver Holmes is going to stroll in here. Oliver Holmes on his 200th Tigers appearance. Gets what could be a crucial 4-pointer for the Castleford side. Made his debut at just 17, Oliver Holmes. And now at 27 years of age, a special moment. And a crucial intervention perhaps in the outcome of this game.
Well, they've accelerated when their opponents were at their weakest. Down a man, they've taken advantage. James Clare burst through from the scrum. And at the other end of the field here, there's an element of luck with the kick. There's no luck really with Oliver Holmes' work rate. The work ethic to be in the right place at the right time. The ball bounces up for him, and what a way to celebrate your 200th appearance. Extending the lead here now to what could be a significant advantage. We've still got a long time left in the game, and the Castleford Tigers have a firm grip on it right now.
Look at the delight on the face of Oliver Holmes. Former Normanton Knights amateur, Castleford Academy as well. Richardson from right in front, 2 more points follow, and 26 points to 15 now for Darryl Powell's men. And a special moment for Oliver Holmes.
Yeah, 200 games, made his debut back in 2010 against Huddersfield Giants, and hasn't he come on a long way? He puts himself where the action is. The skill to know where that ball is going to be, pick it up, avoid defenders. Just rewards for the hard-working back rower Oliver Holmes.
Yeah, got that, Dean. Yeah, got it.
Opened last year's Super League account with a try against Wakefield. Now scores against them at a crucial time in this game.
Stay on side. Okay, Max.
Wakefield's turn to respond. James Clare takes the restart.
There we go, there's a penalty. We both noticed in the first half it was a little bit later than this. How Wakefield dropped off in energy. They looked tired, they looked sloppy, they looked loose. And then you can see Kalepi Tanganoa, he wants to hit hard, maybe have a look at dislodging the ball. It's a loose, lazy arm. The referee has no option other than to blow his whistle. But they need to stick with Castleford Tigers. 9 points separates them on the scoreboard. But what they need to do is stay as intense as they did approach the start of the second half.
Let's put that calculator on again.
11. Another penalty given away. Just losing contact now.
Comes mounting up for Chris Chester and Wakefield.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry, mate.
Also seeking his first derby win as the Trinity boss. Truman for Watts.
One, move, Josh. Ball is 10, Josh. Go, good mate.
McShane finds Smith.
2, move, get square. All the way, Max.
And Tangata on defensive duty for Wakefield. Truman at the line. Oliver Holmes again. So busy second half, particularly. Truman.
That's okay.
Brilliant for Richardson. Rankin, Matautia, great offload. Try for Darrell Alfords. Second for Darrell Alfords. And Castleford closing in on 2 points against their bitterest rivals. Double for Darrell.
It's the pass to Darrell Alfords that I'm excited about. They do this really well, Castleford Tigers, don't they? They manage to have their opposition stripped for numbers. It's a late challenge, probably on Jake Truman, but because he goes in to the teeth and the defence, it means that Wakefield are short outside. He ends up on the floor, floated into the path of his half-back partner, Danny Richardson, who then feeds Jordan Rankin. But watch this left-handed offload round the corner. Beautiful stuff.
It's classic Cass again. Doubles for both wingers now. Darrell Alfords and James Clare. Danny Richardson with an opportunity for 2 more points. Tough angle for him. Just pull that one. Real daylight now. 15 points the difference. Castleford's advantage.
Well, great centres in rugby league are able to put a try on a plate for the winger outside them. And that's exactly what Peter Matauti does here. All in between two players, and Darrell Alfords, well, it's a simple catch and put down, isn't it? There's very few, he does well over there, there's a couple of defenders around him. Peter Matauti's ability there, and rugby playing knowledge of the ball. Right now, there's a restart there. Ryan Hampshire knows they need the ball back. He shoots it at the sideline. Brave effort from them, but McShane's knowledge knows it's a save. Tap back in play. The retained possession, very important for Castleford there to stem any sort of comeback while they're still down to 12 men.
Matautia showing his quality after the 2 suspended games. A key part of the armoury he has for Darrell Powell. Millington. Ball from Richardson. Castleford in the mood. Here is Alfords.
Well, there's an injury there to Castleford players. Millington down on the floor.
Well, a late tackle. We've seen players suspended for this, not obviously during the games, in weeks. It's an issue of the game where we're trying to protect and make it as safe as possible for people to pass the ball and not be hit from behind, which is what it appears will remain Navarrete.
Well, I think it was that player that bit in on Jake Truman that meant that there was numbers out wide, and you can see that the physio is just saying there might be a little bit of a neck problem there. Darrell Alforts and Peter Matautia. Well, I said in the first half it's only going to get better. Well, look at this, he's getting better during the game. He catches and passes, although it's a low pass. He's adjusted that depth now, the winger Darrell Alforts, and he's in a position to catch it. The brave Aussie, well, you're not going to knock him off his game. The doctor, the physio, they're going to have to drag him off if he's going off.
We saw the frustration from Darryl Powell's opposite number there, Chris Chester, when James Batchelor was sent to the sin bin. Castleford posted 12 points in his absence. Richardson feeds Watts. 2 minutes short of the hour mark.
Get square, hold the 10, hold!
Castleford, ominous again, Millington. Okay to continue. McShane. Truman. Shenton looking for some space as they try and force him over that sideline.
That ball was touched by Batchelor, and actually the tackle count restarted.
It has.
Another big opportunity then for Castleford. Smith wrestled to the ground by Navarrete. McShane. Watts.
Kalipi Tanganoa, the wrong side of play the ball. Tackles the big man Liam Watts low. He's at the wrong side. He's given Wakefield Trinity a team warning now. Too many penalties. We make that 10 penalties to 6.
Game drifting away from Wakefield Trinity as Castleford look for more points. Closing in on the final quarter. There is McShane camped under the post, gives it to Truman. Oliver Holmes.
Move up and square, Jay. Hold. Go right in, you know.
Shenton now.
Come on.
Truman. Smith. And Tangata.
Get square. Hold.
The tackle. Truman. Gives it some more air. Shenton once more. Shenton with a flick. Goes backwards though. McShane picks up the pieces. Rankin. Great step from Jordan Rankin. Maybe this is the head of steam. Rankin still going. Again, the tackle count is wiped clean by referee James Child. Can Wakefield keep them out? Truman. Disguised ball for Richardson.
It's a brave effort by Wakefield in defence here. The weight of possession that Castleford had, the length of time in the last 20 minutes, we've seen them attacking the opponent's line.
Here is McMeekin. Gets the ball back to Matautia. Spin from Millington. Richardson. Still going Richardson, lateral. And then just finds a Wakefield shirt in Jay Pitts rather than a Castleford one. And that attack comes to nothing.
Brave effort by Wakefield. They'll go back to the controversial decision when James Baxter was sent to the sin bin, really. Referee looked as though he was going to award a penalty try. From that point on, things did get tough for them, but the character they've shown here with the defence to hang on against an onslaught from Castleford. They need a bit of luck here. A little bit of luck for Warrington. It looks like they've added another penalty goal now, the 4-point advantage over Wolfpack.
Kyle Wood back on for Wakefield. He might speed things up around the play of the ball.
Huddersfield stay on course to maintain their perfect start. 10-0 there.
Give time, remain.
Miller hoists the kick on the last. James Clare underneath it though.
Solid, hasn't he, James Clare? Wonderful break over on Castleford's right side with lots of defenders around him, but he's dealt with everything that's been thrown at him. And of course, 2 tries for him, 2 tries for Darrell Olferts as well.
Move, come on, hold this 10, wait. All 3.
McShane.
Ball, Kyle, move. Get square. Go 4. Outside.
Kick from Paul McShane. Out from dummy half. Is it going to go over the sideline?
Play on.
Good footwork from Max Jowett. Chase from Truman. Big day tomorrow on Sky Sports. Women's NRL All-Stars kicks it all off from 6 o'clock on Sky Sports Action. Then the men, it's their turn from 8:30, again on Sky Sports Action. And then the big one later that day, who is going to rule the world in 2020? St Helens head-to-head with Sydney Roosters. The only place you can see the game live is with us, 7 o'clock, Sky Sports Action. Kyle Wood gets the ball away. Batchelor back on now.
I guess there's still some belief for this Wakefield side. They scored 18 points last year on this ground to come back and almost pinch it. They need 18 right now to do the same, and they're just hoping and praying here to force an error from this Castleford side. We've had great control in the last 23 minutes since we've had that break.
This is Rankin.
2, move, work back, James. Hold, mate. Go, keep it quiet.
Olferts. Great speed for a standing start there.
They've worked really well, the back 3 from Castleford, haven't they? Rankin, Olferts, James Clare. They've not just scored tries, they've pulled the sleeves up. Good offload again from McShane.
Just allowed McShane to do his work there and just scamper away and then get the offload away as well.
Another injury in back play.
Oliver, it's McShane that's in trouble.
Time's off.
Just into the last quarter of this game now. Mentally, Wakefield need to make a decision. Do we still think we can get back into this game? You can just see a tackle in the back. He ends up awkwardly falling onto the floor, doesn't he, Paul McShane, when the ball has gone. Just watching the Wakefield players spread out along the field, nobody talking to one another. Here it is, Westerman, a couple of players around the legs.
I don't know who you'd penalise there, do you? I don't think Romain Neverett tipped him.
No.
He just ended up underneath the body.
You'd end up having a word with both players saying, watch what you're doing, because he's not got any sight. That's probably a yellow card for stupidity, that.
It's a shame. He's made more tackles than any player on the field here, but he started to get things wrong. Late challenge. He probably should have been simbing for the late tackle on Grant Millington, in my opinion.
He's an enthusiastic player. We've watched him during his time in Super League. But he doesn't know. His eyes are at the floor. He's underneath Paul McShane, who lands awkwardly. And for the second time in this match, Wakefield going to be down to 12 men. My calculator's way off today.
You want to take that back?
No.
Get the money back for that one.
Well, I'm not like you. You've got 12 fingers. I've only got 10.
The amusement from Chris Chester as well as Huddersfield extend the lead at Hull Kingston Rovers. Here is McShane back on his feet, back causing damage as McMeekin goes in again. Richardson. Liam Watts now. McShane. Richardson. Almost grabbed by Reece Lynn.
And that's the sort of game-changing moment that the Tigers need to be wary of. If he takes that ball in, I think we see 6 points added to Wakefield's score, and all of a sudden there's a renewed confidence. They've got nothing to lose here with 15 minutes to go. Can't quite get the fingertips to it. Second time we've seen them almost in the first half go for an interception.
And that's what I was talking about. Do they mentally believe they can get back into this game? When there's a breakage in play and Paul McShane's getting treatment, who's going round all the various teammates, letting them know what's going on? What are we trying? What are we doing? What's our focus?
So it's Castleford on the offensive again in the shape of McMeekin. Opportunity for Wakefield with Reece Lynn. How painful would this be if Castleford were to go in here? Millington. McShane waits. Another former Wakefield man, of course. Run around with McMeekin. That's Matautia. The ball comes free, though.
Should have gone out the back, that ball. Nice play. It was an old-fashioned run around, wasn't it? With a player coming short, which is Matautia. Danny Richardson out of the back. You can see him out of the back, player holding his hands up. Nice play with McMeekin. Short ball to Matautia, but Wakefield up to the task.
Wakefield camped on their own line. Huddersfield closing in on maintaining that perfect start now. 22-0 up now. Comfortable there. What have Wakefield got left? Opportunity for Reece Lynn a moment ago, and he's in possession now.
First 30 minutes, I talked about how much defence Castleford Tigers had done. Well, it looks like it's the opposite, where around 60% of the possession is in favour of Castleford Tigers. Although they get a penalty here, Wakefield will have a little look.
Back up.
Just over the 40-metre line now. What can they do with this possession and field position? Do they have enough energy? Do they have enough enterprise?
Do they have enough belief? Batchelor. Kyle Wood, scampering run. Good pass as well. Picks out Ashurst. Miller. Westerman. It was Hampshire. Now Jowett. Four gone so far. Hampshire for Westerman this time, and flings a ball back, and that was never really on.
No.
Oliver Holmes immediately
if you're going to offload it to a player who's not expecting it, you need to throw it up, give it some hang time. But unfortunately, when Westerman gets that ball free, the only way he can get that ball free is with the palm of his hand facing down. So when the ball leaves his hand, its trajectory is to the floor. There's a knock-on here. Looks like Wakefield might get a little bit more time on the ball. Shenton. A basic mistake for him. Oh, I'm not sure whether...
It's the best play of the ball of the night.
Time is off.
It does touch the foot of a Wakefield defender, so therefore it doesn't roll back cleanly, but he doesn't leave go of it, and he taps it back with his foot. Well, your guess is as good as mine.
34-year-old harshly treated perhaps there as Lynn goes in again for Wakefield. In need of try here. Chris Chester's men. Tanganoa. Good run. That was Batchelor. Put the ball down again.
If you look at Wakefield's attack in that first 20 that Barry referenced before, how fast the players were moving, the lines they were running, and the timing of the passing, it's dramatically different to what we're seeing here now in the last 20 minutes or so. I know they've had very few chances in the second half to attack, but they've got to find a way here over an 80-minute period of attacking with that same fluidity that they showed at the start of the match.
Time running out for the visitors. They'll hunt the mistake though as Olferts takes the ball up for Castleford. All over at the Halliwell Jones Stadium, and Warrington have come through a determined Toronto performance. The Wolfpack stay winless. 32 points to 22, the final score there. Matautia for Castleford. 3 in attendance for Wakefield. Rankin no way through for him.
Okay.
Back on the inside from Truman.
Keep coming. Go.
Westerman with the tackle. And Griffin.
Well, what's the ruling here?
Castleford players were offside. They were in front of the kicker and within 10 metres when the kick came back. The referee said.
Paul McShaney was claiming it was going the other way. Put a strong case together. It was a good set with ball in hand. Unfortunately for Cast, the kick wasn't up to the quality of that set of 6. So they are giving Trinity enough of a look at the line.
Inside the last 10. 15 points the difference. Wakefield try now would make things very, very interesting, though, in the last stages of this game. Ball flung out from Miller to Tupu, and he can't take the ball in, and immediately Olferts launches the counter for Castleford. Gets a ball away to Liam Watts. Here is Rankin now. Rankin steps away from a couple, had Blair for company.
Well, yes, it was a mistake for Wakefield, and they're not as accurate as they started this game, but it was tremendous defence from Castleford Tigers. Look at everybody in motion, communicating what the job is, and the player under scrutiny, Danny Richardson, who when Catalan beat them so emphatically last week, a lot of those tries were in or around Danny Richardson. Well, he's replied tonight.
Millington just shoves Carl Wood out of the way. McShane. Truman, Rankin, now Shenton. It's the ball away.
The referee says he's lost it. He lost the ball forward into a Wakefield player. He protests, but the referee ignores it. And says this will be a head and feed to the Trinity team. Clearly see it losing forward. Ricochets off Reece Lynn's shoulder. James Clare can't take advantage.
Jay Pitts does a good job, doesn't it? Doesn't clock off. Allows the centre to hold, and that's the reason the ball actually hits him, and Shenton loses possession.
They've turned the ball over just 10 metres from their own line, though. Wakefield line, I should say, and so the Trinity side, the visitors have to go 90 metres to get the try they so desperately need to get back into this game. Kyle Ward, no way through for him.
They found a way of scoring 2 tries in the last 10 minutes last week to beat Warrington. Can they find 3 here now to beat their biggest rivals and end this winless streak against the Tigers?
Kopczak. Millington with the tackle. Miller with the high kick and scooped up confidently by Rankin.
It's good kick pressure from Castleford Tigers. It goes high. There's not too much depth on it because of the work of Mike McMeekin.
Olferts now.
Here we go again. Fullback, winger, winger. It's been like that all evening, hasn't it? Rankin, Olferts, and James Clare.
Darryl Powell mentioned discipline at half-time. That's exactly what Castleford are showing here. Discipline to be in the right place, to start these attacks. There's Matautia now. Westerman with the tackle.
Interference.
James Charles says interference here.
Well, that's the 21st penalty of this game.
That's nobody's fault other than Joe Westerman for interfering, isn't it, and play the ball.
Yeah.
Frustration for the former Castleford forward. Frustration for Chris Chester.
I'm going to kick it out and challenge the line. Try and score a try.
See this line. Come on, Adam. Okay, left it.
Well, in terrible conditions on a heavy pitch with the rain pouring down, some of the attack has looked good. They've not always quite found the winger in space, but they've created lots of chances.
Chance for Truman this time. Body swerve, so evasive. Held up though.
Tackle 2 on the 10, Jake. On the line, guys. Cracks. Okay, cheers.
McShane. Westerman darts out to the line.
Out quick to hit Griffin hard.
McShane now. Blair. Held up by 3.
Deep and wide Castleford Tigers now, although McShane thinks he
looking
sees
for a try
something.
against his former club.
Is that ball stripped from him? You might not be able to see it on your TV screens. It's just started to rain. It's that fine rain that soaks you through, Ben. The referee wants a look to see how this ball comes out. There's definitely more than one man in attendance. There's definitely arms around the ball. Max Jowett, the fullback, that's his job, to be around the ball. Does Paul McShane let go of it, or is it helped on its way by Jowett?
I think he drops the ball. He's attempting to ground it. He's unsuccessful in doing that. Loses control of possession.
I think you're right. It looks like it from that angle. The one that the referee is in front of. We can't quite see what's happening because the referee's there.
He's dropped it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Has he dropped it in the field of play or over the try line? I'd say over the try line.
It's on the line, yeah.
Tap on the 20 to restart play.
I think it's going to be a scrum. I think it's in the field of play.
Try ruled out by Tom Grant. It will be a scrum.
They start off. Well, yeah. Anyway, it's a scrum. I don't even agree with myself there. Now I've watched it, I've changed my mind. And I'm going with the decision that's been made. Hey ho.
Closing in the last 4 minutes. And Castleford about to extend this record, miserable record as far as Wakefield are concerned.
Up quick, Castleford Tigers, really snuffing things out. They've got no space to work in Wakefield. He hasn't stopped trying though, Joe Westerman.
Hard for them now in this situation, is it? Because natural instincts to try things, isn't it? You don't just want to carry on playing. You know they need some points. They want to find some tries. But kick to the corner here for Reece Lynn, charging down after it.
Dealt with that well, didn't he? He was aware of the sideline, got his body in between the ball and the defender. Michael Shenton coming away from the line.
Good work from James Clare.
Solid as a rock, the back 3. He's there again, isn't he?
Well, they've done well, Castleford. Not only to score points, as Daryl Alford makes another break here, trying to keep his arms free.
Had Richardson for company, couldn't get the offload away.
But to prevent Wakefield from scoring a single point, probably in this second half, there's still time to go, so I shouldn't speak too soon. Their defence has been equally as impressive as their attack in this second 40. Much more pleasing performance for the coach.
Kick from Richardson, and Hampshire with the error.
At this stage, it's a 16-0 second half victory, isn't it? The lead, blood there from the mouth of Ryan Hampshire. Difficult kick, swirling in the wind, and at the last second it changes direction. Can't trap it. Look at the weather there. Awful situation here now for the Wakefield side. Bloodied, battered and bruised. They're going to go home here without much to show for a brave effort.
It's so painful against their neighbours. Castleford fans will love this. As Rankin tries to pile on more pain late on inside the last 2 minutes. Is there another Castleford try? Watts Drives the ball in again, exactly what's required in these conditions that we saw a moment ago. Castleford penalty.
Well, they do struggle to handle Liam Watts. He's so big and powerful, doesn't want to go down. And when they're putting him to ground, unfortunately, Kyle Wood, with hands around the ball, just helps it on its way. Now, will Cass take the 2 on offer, or will they try and go for another try? They're going to take the 2 on offer. Just over a minute gone in this match, and there's been some outstanding performers for Castleford Tigers. You could pick any one of the back 3 as the man of the match, but I think the engine room really set the standard in this match when they had to do it tough. All the big numbers belong to those forwards. Defence, carries, offloads. Liam Watts leading the way. Paul McShane had another impressive performance.
Wakefield kept Castleford scoreless during the sin-binning of Navarrete, but 12 points and Batchelor went off. A real problem for them as Richardson slots 2 more points in favour of Castleford Tigers, applauded by his coach Daryl Powell. Job done for the Cas boss. Work to do for Chris Chester as this miserable run goes on.
There we go. Sometimes it's the unsung heroes that get the nod, and on his 200th appearance, with a boatload of work for the people around him, Oliver Holmes. Well, he's the man of the match today as Wakefield kicked the ball short.
Fairy tale evening crowned for Oliver Holmes. His 200th Tigers appearance, a try to show for it as well, and now the man of the match award. Big win to savour as well. McMeekin. It's going to be time for one last play of the ball. McMeekin does, finds McShane. Here is Truman scampering away as the hooter goes. McShane over the top. James Clare now. Chip and charge from him. Jowett got it back momentarily. Here is Shenton. He's put to ground by Johnston. And the display warmly applauded by Daryl Powell. Castleford, job done for them. 3 wins from 4 to start the season. A pensive and reflective Chris Chester for Wakefield. Castleford now victorious in the last 14 contests with Wakefield, and Trinity have lost on 8 consecutive visits here now. Started the better. Wakefield 8-0 up inside 10 minutes. 2 tries in 3 minutes put Castleford in front. The lead changed hands 4 times in that first half. But then the second half, 3 Castleford tries took the game away from Wakefield Trinity.